Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentad here, bringing you more Running Red. Last time, I was talking about setting up a smeltery and doing a whole lapis-based thing using a ton of rain plants to get myself a looting sword. However, in between episodes, I thought better of it. Instead, we're going to go with a more traditional-ish enchanting route. Step one along that way was building myself a better little farm for my sugarcane and my water artichokes. This is a pretty high density sugarcane farm. And the intent of that is to use it with, oops, hang on, let me get these out of here. You actually belong over, oops, missed. Over in here, which is mostly full. That's okay. We'll deposit what we can. Call it a day for now. Let me fix these. I bet you I can get rid of. Yes. Okay, as I was saying. Wrong button. More traditional enchanting setup, which is going to need quite a bit of sugarcane. To get my hands on that sugarcane, I'm going to use a blank slate, an apprentice blood orb, 4 oak saplings, and 3 sugarcane. Is it the apprentice? Is it the weak? Hang on. I want to make the Sigil of the Green Grove here. Apprentice. Reinforced slate. Whoops. Hang on. Need to fix that real quick. That's okay. With this setup over here, this will go very, very quickly. Put the blank slate in there. Here we go. Won't take very long at all. There we go, and now 1 reinforced slate. Gonna put the Magician's Blood Orb back in there to continue feeding my essence pool. Now, we can create the Sigil of the Green Grove, which has two potential uses. There we go. Wow. It's gonna be one of them days again, folks. Apparently I'm having a lot of them. One, you can right-click directly on a plant, and it will act as if bone meal. And I believe, hang on, 128, 252, that takes 150 LP to process. Alternatively, you can, let me move this over here so that you can see in best effect, right-click it to activate it. And every now and then, this will drain a bit of LP, but it will cause a lot of growth ticks to happen in the immediate area around you. This is going to speed up my farming for both sugarcane and witchery plants considerably. Oops. Alright, so I'm going to gather myself a good bit of sugarcane so that I can make books. And I'll be back once I have that. See you soon. Alright, that didn't take very long at all, and I already have 89 sugarcane, so make sure that this is turned off, stash it away, and off we go. Whoops, I'm going to want my divination sigil available. I'm going to fly over here. You'll notice that I set up my pulverizer. This was a pretty simple procedure, but since this was already crafted in one of the quests, I also built myself a redstone furnace. If you, for some reason, do not know the recipe for the redstone furnace, it is very, very simple. You'll just need some bricks, which in this pack are made from cooking bricks, as always. I believe there's another... Nope. You have to cook your clay, and clay can be attained by putting gravel and a bucket of water into your crafting interface, or you can make some with slag if you happen to have some from thermal expansion. Now, the reason I wanted the redstone furnace is you can cook leather in a redstone furnace from rotten flesh. It is a much more efficient recipe, I believe, than doing so manually in the alchemic chemistry set, if only because this consumes time and flint. It's just a pain, I feel. So, with my, I need a crafting table. Here we go. With these in hand, I'll be able to make myself the books that I need. Now, I'm going to need specifically 24 books. That might not seem like many, and honestly, it isn't. It's relatively few. To make 24 books, I'm going to need a total of 72 paper, which is going to be, there we go, that's 72. And, there we are, 24 books. Now, I will want just a couple more to have on standby as well as to actually craft some of the items that I'm going to be making besides the particular kind of bookshelf I'm going to be using. So there we have that. Now I'm going to need to get myself a handful of obsidian to actually make the enchantment table, as well as a couple of other odds and ends. So I'll be back once I have gotten myself that obsidian in the standard way of using my lava sigil and just placing it in with bucket, one bucket at a time, into the igneous extruder. So once that process has completed, I shall return. Alright folks, got my goodies together. Let me show you what I have in mind here. So first off, we do need to make an enchantment table. And that's a simple vanilla recipe that you should all know by now. And then we're going to take that enchanted table with 3 redstone and 5 iron, and we're going to make the open blocks auto enchantment table. We also need an anvil, which is going to require 4 blocks of iron, at least I think it's 4. 3 blocks of iron and 4 iron ingots. There we go. And then we do the same thing with the anvil. 5 iron and 3 redstone. Now, it's a good idea, actually, to make yourself another anvil, just to have it nearby so that you can check your recipes. So I believe the auto anvil has some issues if you try to go too big on what you're doing. Now, we're going to run our liquid tanks like this. And we're going to toss the XP drain right here. Or actually, no. We're going to toss the XP drain right there, so that I can convert some of this experience that I've been storing in myself back into liquid, which will be very useful for this process in the long run. We're going to set our auto enchantment table down right there, and we're going to hit O to close any eye, tell this thing to auto drink, right click and drag from the back. And you should see, there you go, tank is its internal tank is filling up. We're going to do the same thing with the auto anvil right there, which may be more useful later. We shall see if we even need this. I know I'm going to need it at some point in time. I don't know if I will need it today. Now, what are we going to enchant? That's actually, that auto anvil is thirsty. That's okay. It's not like I won't be generating a lot more experience. Let me drain off a few more levels. This thing kind of takes its sweet time to do this, so I'll finish doing that part off screen. Now, what I want to enchant is actually rather fun. So I'm going to need another diamond, and I'm going to need 1 gold, 2 gold nuggets, and a stick. That diamond needs to be combined with 8 buckets of blood to make an emerald. I'm actually out of... I don't have enough blood in the altar. So let me get my 8 buckets of blood together, and I shall return once I'm ready to show you exactly what I'm enchanting. See you soon. Alright, now that I have the 8 buckets of blood I need, I can transmute this diamond into an emerald, and that emerald will become the core of the weapon of choice, the arthana from witchery. Now, this little dagger here has the damage and enchantability. Ooh, I am almost out of food. Hang on. I'm not used to actually running low on food in this pack. Was not paying attention. Also, I never run anywhere, so I never notice. Here. Just eat some golden apples. Actually, you know what? Apples will serve me just as well at this point in time. Yeah. Ran out of pork chops. It's not like I don't have enough wheat up there to make a ton of bread. Anyway, I was saying, the arthana has the same properties as a golden sword in terms of enchantability and damage, which is pretty awesome. However, I still need to get the 30 levels worth of enchantment set up here. And that would normally require bookcases, but instead what I'm going to be using is magic wood. There we go. Magical wood from extra utilities. Now, I do need a bookshelf apiece for these, so it's actually going to take me 18 more books than I originally calculated. I was only figuring on the 4 enchanted books each, but I'm only going to need 6 of these. So that's a total of 42 books, which would only make 14 bookshelves normally. That's quite a bit less than would go into making an altar level 30. Actually, no, nowadays it's not. That's only 1 bookshelf left. Anyway, it'll fit into a much smaller form factor, which is also important. So, how are we going to make that happen? Well, we're going to start enchanting some books. See? Simple as that. I get a level 1 enchanted book, and then I come over here, and I will be able to put them together with the bookshelf and the gold. Now, I need to go get my hands on that bookshelf and that gold, so I'll be right back once I have those materials ready. Alrighty, folks, here we go. 6 bookshelves and 24 gold ingots. Gets us started on our magic wood. Now, each level 1 book takes almost nothing. It's very, very cheap in terms of experience. For example, if I take a look at the level here, we're at 3986. If I take all 4 out, we are now at 3534. We lost about 400 millibuckets. If I jump on here and let just that one level 72 go away, yeah, as you can see, that's a couple of full buckets. Yeah, just about 2 full buckets was level 72. So yeah, not exactly pricey. Now, the real trick is going to be getting a little bit lucky with the arthana, or arthana specifically. Because despite having a very high enchantability, there's no guarantee I will get looting on my first try. However, if I do not, then I will investigate the contingency I need to handle that situation. I'm not going to go that route unless I absolutely have to, though. Now, the great thing about these enchanted bookshelves, as long as they are placed in any way that a normal bookshelf could be, then they will contribute. You can't really see it on this particular... Hang on, let me break that one. And oh! Iron Axe did not want to break that. Let me check into that and make myself a replacement. I'll be right back. Alrighty, folks, some poking around has enabled me to show you 2 things. 1, the magical wood must be placed in the same place that a bookshelf would have been placed were you doing this with a standard enchantment table. 2, when you use higher level enchants, like Blast Protection 2, Frugal 1, Frugal 2, and Frugal 2 in this recipe, you get more magical wood than you would otherwise. Each magical wood is worth 5 levels of enchanting, so even with just the 2, you can do up to 15. I believe I didn't even need 6 of them, but I have them anyway. So let's take a look if I can do 25 now. Hang on, I don't have anything to enchant it. Sure I do. We'll throw 25 levels on my osmium chestplate. No, we will not. 20 levels, though, we can do easily. Now, if I remember correctly, you can now go down a layer with your bookshelves. However, I'm not going to take that chance. Instead, I'm going to place one there and one here. And now I should be able to do 30 levels on my helmet. One of them is still not placed quite correctly, as I can only do 25 levels. Either that or this tank right here is actually blocking the path. As such, let me redesign the tank and make sure that that's not going to be the problem. Back in a moment. Alright, this has it working now. The tank here must have been blocking one of these or another. In any case, the experience drain doesn't seem to be causing the same issue. I moved the auto anvil over here, and they're both now being told to auto drink from the bottom. You still have the back, but we can change that. I haven't turned the anvil back on yet because I don't actually want to have spend those resources yet. Alright, so let's see what happens when we put the arthana in there with 30 levels. Oh, that experience drain is blocking things, but if I remove it real quick... There we go. We got sharpness 4. That's not ideal. Okay, so we are going to need to continue on working on the next one, because I don't believe... Nope, I can't just toss it back in there and let it re-enchant. So let me go grab what I need to set up the other system that I've had in mind for this particular excursion. Back soon. Alrighty folks, steps 1 and 2 on this path. A handful of slime balls and that tank of blood. We're going to get some power flowing into our energy cell. Start getting it charged up. There we go. Just need to turn you on and you should start receiving power. Power from the top is input. Oh, there we go. It just took a moment. Fantastic. And I should have all of these on redstone disabled so that they will keep working even when that guy is in use. Good. Now, we're going to put our... Where'd it go? Where did it go? There we go. Redstone furnace. Back into the world, right next to the pulverizer. We're going to turn that pulverizer. And this furnace is going to cook 4 of these slime balls for me. Or not? Alrighty folks, there is another route to plastic which does not require rubber bars and is currently working. I have confirmed with the pack creator that the slime ball to rubber bar recipe will be fixed in the very next update, which I believe is coming out this weekend. Also, I believe we can expect running red to be listed directly on the launcher instead of needing the pack code, which is kind of awesome for Gideon. Anyway, first step along the way, we're going to need to mass produce some gravel, gunpowder, and stone into your chemistry set with some sort of orb going on, and you'll get 2 gravel per stone and gunpowder, which is fantastic. Let me just grab what I have of that. And next step along the path, we're going to be using our cyclic assembler. I've got it hooked up to the water line here. The energy cell is set to output power to the back, and the assembler is accepting water from the back. Now, we're going to need a bit more water, actually. So, what I'm going to do for that, I guess I'll make a little water pool over here for the time being. Because I don't want to have to keep spending blood every time I want another bucket. So I'm going to grab myself a couple of buckets of water to get this process started. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell this guy to make me make me clay out of gravel and water. And we'll assign one of the Blake schematics I made to that. Oh, gotta be careful there. It will immediately begin creating clay. However, that's not such a bad thing in this circumstance because we're then going to use a bucket of water. I think it's 2 gravel and 1 clay. Whoops. In the proper shaped recipe. Maybe it's 2 clay and 1 gravel. Maybe I'm not remembering this recipe properly at all and need to... Hang on. There we go. Need to look it up again. Raw plastic. Ah, that's the problem. Bucket goes here. Clay goes here. Gravel goes here and here. Like that. And then you can create raw plastic out of gravel and clay. So now I can easily make a lot of raw plastic, which is necessary for the next step of this process. Let me grab the other materials that I'm going to need, which I have most of them in my golden bag of holding, and I'll be right back to show you the last bit that I'm working on here. Okay, now that I've got all of the materials on hand, simple case of getting the nether brick up top, the reception coil there, diamonds here, machine frame here, 2 plastic sheets, and 2 books. Slightly complicated recipe creates the auto disenchanter. Now what the auto disenchanter will do for us, I'll toss it right there. It will turn energy into stripping the enchantment off of this blade and place that enchantment onto the book that is in there. And this will allow us to re-enchant the blade. Now this is going to be a slow process because we are not producing energy very quickly yet. This would be a much faster process if we had more power production. Unfortunately, greater power production is something that will come in time. Alright, so I'll be back once this is done. We'll run it through a couple more times until I can get my hands on a looting blade. See you soon. Alright, here we have it. And now you also see the nasty downside of the auto disenchanter. It will damage whatever item you are using. Luckily, we've already prepared for that eventuality. If I come over here and I grab myself just a bit more gold. That's why we have that auto anvil. Well, that's one reason we have that auto anvil. If I toss the arthana in with a gold bar, it gets fixed right up. And let's see what we get this time. Knockback 2, Unbreaking 3, Bane of Arthropods 4. Well, that's less than super fantastic. I mean, the knockback and the unbreaking are pretty great, but I still need to get looting. Alright, so you've seen the process now. I'm going to do the rest of it off camera and probably set up a chest over there for... Actually, I already have a chest where I can toss extra enchantment books, don't I? Right in there with everything else. Alright, so I'll be back once I have my looting book or my sword with looting on it. See you soon. Alrighty folks, this is actually pretty good. Look what we got on the very next enchant. Smite 4, Unbreaking 3, Knockback 2, Looting 3, Fire Aspect 2. That's pretty ridiculous. I would have been happier with Sharpness, but I can live with Smite. So this should do a good job of getting us everything that we need out of the nether. Now, the next step is going to be making that potion last a bit longer than a minute, because that's just asking for trouble. And to accomplish that, we're going to need another feather, we're going to need another diamond, and I'm going to need to make myself some more binding agents. The eventual goal is to make the lengthening catalyst, which requires a standard binding agent. So let me go do some alchemy, and then we can maybe finally go get that gas tier that I've been working on all episode. See you soon. Alrighty, so you guys have seen me create simple catalysts, Sanctist, and Crystallos before, as well as the weak binding agents. As such, I'm not showing those again. Instead, I'm going to focus on the new stuff, which, as soon as a standard binding agent finishes, I'll be able to do. Okay, so we're going to need all 4 weak binding agents, we're going to need 4 simple catalysts, and we're going to need a total of 16 redstone. And this will create for us the mundane lengthening catalyst. We're going to need 4 of these. Give it just a moment here. And when we take 2 mundane lengthening catalysts and combine those 2 with 1 standard binding agent, nothing happens. Hang on. Standard binding agent, archmages, masters. Thought I could do this with a magician. Nope. Okay, so the mundane lengthening catalyst is in fact our limit right now. I thought I checked into that last time and I was wrong about that, but that's okay. So we're going to take our potions flask, which has 1 minute of flight and 2 minutes of resistance, and we're going to add a mundane lengthening catalyst, a feather, and oh yeah, that's it. Just the mundane lengthening catalyst and a feather, and it will start processing, and that will change our flight from 1 minute to 2 minutes 40, which isn't a greatly long time, but it'll be plenty enough for our purposes. And then we're also going to add another diamond along with this mundane lengthening catalyst, which will change our resistance from 2 minutes to 5 minutes 20. Alright, now, girded as such, and with our armor enchanted to get some protection in a couple of places, we are going to head back into the nether with this potion flask, and we're going to find ourselves a ghast. With any luck. There's only the one place that they can spawn that I know of, and that's over near the nether fortress, so we're just going to have to fly around there and hope for the best. Ooh, you know what, though? It would be silly of me to go in here without bringing the #1 most important, most useful tool that we're given in this pack to handle this exact issue. Wow, that did all of the damage. Which would be 26 notch golden apples. These things are going to make sure that I don't die. Alright, let's go a-hunting. Now, my favorite way to get around while hunting in the nether, I like the air sigil for speed, and then when I get closer, I will use the potion to provide stability. Alright. Ooh, hello. Please tell me you were just pigmen. I think a lot of you are just pigmen. Okay. So that's an awful lot of blazes. That's okay. We need to get a blaze rod while we're here. Ooh, hello, Nitro Creeper. You cannot kill him with a melee weapon, with a hand-to-hand weapon, and I do not believe I have a ranged weapon on me. So we're going to use our potion. Remember, we only get 2 minutes 40 out of this. Ooh, I do have a bow and arrows. Trying very hard not to accidentally shoot the pigmen. That would be bad. There we go. Aw, just gunpowder? That's a shame. In any case, let's go find a ghast and bop him first. Yeah. You got nothing on this. You're going to want to be right next to him when he dies, and hopefully any blaze shards he drops you can collect. The unfortunate fact of the matter is, with knockback, you have to be a little bit careful about where you're knocking things. Ow. It's really not doing much damage thanks to the resistance and all of the protection on the armors. In any case, our goal here is in fact ghasts, not blazes. Well, we do need a blaze or two. Hey look, there's a blaze spawner. Invulnerability is a good feeling. Just as long as you don't accidentally be overground when... There we go. He dies. Did not see any blaze rods drop. That's okay. We know we're going to need to kill some wither skeletons as well while we're at it. Nope, just regular bones. What a shame. Oh, hello. Yeah, you are wearing a bunch of osmium. You can go over the edge. You withered me because you're a jerk. But that's okay. With all of the buffs that I have, I'm not too worried about a little bit of wither. Yeah, this is going quite well. Now, I know I heard a ghast in here one time that I was here. Unfortunately, I'm not finding one at the moment. Which will be a long-term problem if I want that ghast here to do its thing. Maybe I'll get really lucky and there'll be another quest that gives me a ghast here. Got my blaze rod for the moment. Oh look, a chest. Fantastic. Nether wart. Now if I could just find some soul sand. Amazing. Alright, where's my... Did I not bring a shovel? I didn't bring a shovel. Alright, so we're going to punch nether wart the hard way. Or the slow way, depending on how you look at it. They're kind of the same. So I don't believe I have a method of creating soul sand in this pack. Oh, I can do so using weak blood shards, which is a mechanic of blood magic that we will get into in the very near future. However, netherwart is my gateway to vanilla alchemy, which is still useful. Oh, looks like the flight portion of my potion has worn off. And for reasons unknown to me, I have fire resistance. Oh, that must have come from the golden apple. That makes a certain amount of sense. We have 4 golden ingots and 2 golden swords. Sure, I will take those because I can potentially melt those swords down later. Fairly happy about the way this is going. Really need that ghast still. Now, to my knowledge, there's nothing stopping a ghast from spawning over top of a nether fortress block, just like any other monster. However, it may take some flying back and forth before I find the exact monster that I need. I have plenty of LP, I'm not running out anytime soon. Mushrooms, mushrooms. Lots of blazes, I hear. Still not seeing anything ghast-like. Or hearing, for that matter. Hello. Goodbye. Hey, look at that! And that's the other reason to have an arthana, specifically. The various witchery drops, like Wool of Bat, are much higher likelihood of appearing when using this sword, and having looting 3 on it increases that substantially. Alright. So I really just need that ghast here now. I'm going to spend a little bit more time flying around. See if I can find a ghast. Oh, I heard one. It's just a matter of where now. There he is. Yeah. Come on. I want to be right underneath it. And I heard a pickup. It was just gunpowder. No gas tier this time. Still, that confirms it is possible. Fantastic. Alright. More flitting about. Hello, clouds. Try not to get lost in the endless expanses of the void nether. In fact, speaking of the endless expanses of the void nether, wow, that is almost max brightness already. That's just as good as it gets. Flight, another minute 29. So yeah, simple as this. Fly back and forth. Find the targets we need for our loot. We're not quite strong enough to stand toe-to-toe with a nether army yet, but, for example, these two blazes I could easily kill. I heard a magma cream. Yep, there you are. Oh, I knocked him off the edge. I should really strip down this thing and try to take the knockback off of it, which would also allow me to put sharpness on it. Ow. That was fun. Alright, ow, ow. And when you need to make that quick escape, the air sigil is indispensable. Or just when you want to get places, and you don't want to wait. Okay, there's an ore node right there. Ow. It's a little bit odd. I don't think there's even a way to get shards in this pack at all. I think that Thaumcraft and Technomancy may exist in this pack entirely to provide that blood dynamo. Huh. Alright, so there's only the one ghast so far. My best bet might be to fly far enough away from the fortress that I can force everything to respawn when I come back. Which would be... whoops. I am at 440, so let's go to 560. There we are. Ooh, and there's another nether fortress this far south. I'm at Y like 300, it's why I can't see it yet. There it is. Ooh. Ow. You are my target. I need to eat one of these apples if I want to continue this particular attempt. Oh, and I accidentally let him off the edge. Oh well. Magma creams are useful, but as long as I have my blaze rods and the ability to produce slime balls, which I do, I don't really need them, which is kind of nice. You know what? This is getting silly. Too many other things can spawn over there. I think it might be time to take a different approach. Come on, monsters. Spawn in. So yeah, I'm gonna head back home, and we're gonna take a different approach to this because this is getting silly. Just flying around looking for a ghast is not really working out for me. So, I shall return when I am able. Actually, correction, just took a look at the time as I was flying my way back home. We are well over our limit. tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, but next time, I will be back with a different spawning idea for that ghast. I'm just going to build myself a nice big spawn room somewhere near the portal. And I think that'll work out a little bit better than attempting to fly around that nether fortress until one spawned. In fact, I might do most of that off camera. So when you come back next time, you'll see that I'll have a nether spawner of some variety or another set up. Until then, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you have enjoyed the episode. If you have, please let me know in the comments below. If you have not, let me know what I can do differently. And I will see you next time.